now we will start with the first one, arrival time, departure time, and this is the worksheet which we are going to do. So this is very easy topic. I must say 99 balki 100% of the students will solve this question correctly. Okay. So just you need to remember if this is a 2 marks question in the paper, so definitely you need a solution. So the best solution for time question is the timeline. Okay, so we will draw the timelines and we will see. Acha, before we start, so let's quickly discuss these three keywords which are written here: arrival time, departure time, and journey time. So if you can recall from the previous classes, so can you tell me what is arrival time?
Arrival time is to time we go start the journey.
Is it the time when we start the journey? Arrival time.
Also, we
And
reach
End
back.
the journey. When you arrive at some place, your arrival time is basically the ending time. Okay? So this is the arrival time, the finishing time. So what is the departure time? So the departure time is
starting time.
the starting time. So they are
So,
talking about a जर्नी. सो इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी कि जर्नी हो, लेकिन इस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक के अंदर वैसे आपने टाइम बहुत सी सिचुएशंस में पढ़ा है, इवेंट का स्टार्टिंग टाइम, तो डेफिनेटली जो कोई इवेंट का मतलब मसलन क्लास का स्टार्टिंग टाइम, तो उसको हम डिपार्चर टाइम तो नहीं कह सकते ना. लेकिन इस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक के अंदर विच वी आर लर्निंग इन ग्रेड 8, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट स्पीड एक्चुअली. तो बिकॉज स्पीड तभी होती है व्हेन यू आर कवरिंग अ डिस्टेंस. सो डिस्टेंस की बात आती है तो इसलिए हम डिपार्चर, अराइवल और जर्नी टाइम की बात करते हैं, बिकॉज इट मीन्स कि वी आर ट्रैवलिंग टू सम प्लेस और एनीथिंग इज मूविंग एंड गोइंग फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अदर प्लेस. ठीक है. एंड द थर्ड इज दिस टाइम, द इन बिटवीन टाइम, दिस इज कॉल्ड जर्नी टाइम. राइट, जर्नी टाइम. अच्छा, नाउ दिस इज वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. आपको ये बात पहले भी पता होगी कि द डिपार्चर और अराइवल टाइम, दे बोथ शुड बी in like clock time. They should be clock time. If we talk about departure and arrival time, so they should be the time on the clock. Like I should say, we are leaving the home at 10:30 a.m. Right? So this is the time on the clock, either in 24 hours clock or 12 hours clock, but this should be the time on the clock, right? But the journey time we cannot write like this. Okay, we have it took us 10 hours and 30 minutes to complete the journey. So this is totally wrong. We cannot write the journey time as a clock time, right? So how do we write it? We write it like this. Agar main likhna hai 10 hours 30 minutes, so I will write down like this, 10 hours 30 minutes. Because journey time is the duration. It's not the clock on the time. You need to remember this. If you write this like this, so it will go wrong. Okay? So the departure time and the arrival time, although ye तीनों times ही हैं, but there is a difference of writing these times. Departure and arrival time are the time on the clock. Okay? Either you are writing it using wording, like you can say 10 past 3, okay, 10 past half past 10, so that means 10:30, quarter to 11. इस तरह की wordings भी use कर सकते हैं, statements which you have learned in the previous classes, or you can use the exact time in 12-hour clock or 24-hour clock. ठीक है, but the journey time should not be written like a time on the clock, but it should be written as a duration, how much duration like that journey took. Okay. So now let's start with this first question. We will keep making the timelines so that you can recall. सबसे पहले मुझे बताना आपने, out of these three things, definitely two will be given and one would be unknown. So first question is, Natasha has dentist appointment at 10:40 a.m. It should last for 35 minutes. What time will she finish? So what are the two different times given? What is this 10:40? Is
departure.
it the start time? Departure time तो हम नहीं कह सकते, journey नहीं है, लेकिन it is the start time, right? So this 35 minutes is the duration, and we need to find out the ending time, या finishing time. ठीक है? So I'm not calling it departure and arrival because those wordings are related to a journey, you know. So now I will just draw a timeline. Okay. let's draw a timeline. So the starting time is 10:40 a.m. and the ending time we need to calculate, but we know that there are 35 minutes duration. So at what time she will be free? So you can take two jumps like this. So first 20 minutes, after 20 minutes, the time on the clock would be 11. So it's up to you how you make this time, like timeline. It's totally up to your choice. So if you add 20 minutes to this time, so then it would be 11 a.m. on the clock, right? So we are left with 15 more minutes. So I'm dividing this time interval into two parts so that I'm easily calculating the finishing time. So it's up to you what you want to do, right? If you want to take a quick jump of 35 minutes, that's also fine. So I hope there is no question. So at what time she will finish? She will finish at, because if they are word problem, you need to write down the answer. She will finish at, Natasha will finish at 11:15 a.m. So beta, is there any question in this? Like anything you cannot understand? Because they are very simple questions. Anything you cannot understand? I hope it is clear, right? All right,
Yes,
so I'm
ma'am.
assuming it is clear. Okay. So the second question is, Moise went to batting practice Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. He left at 11:42 a.m. Was he at, no, sorry, there is a question. How long was he at the batting practice? So again, what are the two things we know?
Departure, arrival.
So we know the, eh? Yes, we know the starting
Depart.
time and the ending time, or the departure, or it's up to you, whatever you call it. Okay, finishing time and the starting time of the event is given. So we need to find out the duration this time, right? So then what is the extra information in this question? Just to, confuse you maybe. What is the extra information? So this is the extra information, right? Saturday morning, like it was not required in the question actually. When I read Saturday morning, I thought maybe he will spend more than one day in that. And we will say that he left at this time on Sunday maybe. So, but this was not happening. So this is an extra information. So if you draw the timeline, so if you draw the timeline, so the starting time is 8:30 a.m. and the ending time is 11:42 a.m. right? So now it's up to you how, or how, like how many steps you want to take in the middle. So like I will take one step containing the hours and the second step containing the minutes, right? So like 8:30, 9:30,
3 hours.
10:30 and
3 hours.
11:30. So 11:30 tak, there are 3 hours. So I will take two, like the two jumps, and one jump is for hours, 3 hours. And how many minutes? 30 se 42. They are 12 minutes. So this is how you will write down the duration. This is what I was saying. कि duration आपने आखिर में ऐसे नहीं लिख देना कि duration is 3 ये. This is wrong. ठीक है, ये time बन जाएगा, duration नहीं बनेगा. So duration is 3 hours and 12 minutes. Right? So this is how you are going to write down the duration and the answer. So next question is, Faria got to work at 8:10 a.m. So ये बहुत ही आसान है. I'm leaving these questions. I will share this worksheet in the class group. You can solve this question number 3, very simple. Let's quickly, like read the questions. If there is any question which is difficult, we can do that. So Kiran put cupcakes in oven at 3:41 p.m. The direction says that cupcakes need to be baked for 38 minutes. What time Kiran will, so what is given? Putting the cupcakes is the starting time, and the duration is given. So we know the starting time and duration. So we can find the finishing time using the timeline, right? So I hope you will be able to solve this question also. So moving on to question number 5. So question number 5 is, Dad arrives home at 4:50 p.m. He left work 40 minutes ago. At what time What time did dad get off the work? So what is this 4:50 p.m.? This is the
Arrival time.
arrival time. It's mentioned also in the question. So this is the arrival time. This is the duration, right? So time interval आप कह सकते हैं. Duration या interval. ठीक है? This is the interval. And we need to find out the departure time. So departure time we need to find out the starting time of this event. So you can do that. Okay. So then sixth question is we will just not solve. We can do that. So Mrs. Candy's third grade class is going to aquarium on a field trip. They are scheduled to arrive at 9:10 a.m. and leave at 6:40 p.m. So what are the two times given? We know the. Now this is important. It's written they have to arrive at 9:10. So do you think this is arrival time? 9:10 a.m.
No, it's departure time.
What is this time?
Departure time.
Right? So 9:10 a.m. Although the sense of the question is that they will arrive at aquarium at 9:10 a.m. But actually in the timeline we are talking about, this will be the departure time. कौन सा departure time होगा? 9:10 a.m. Or what will be the ending time of this event or the arrival time जो हमारे हिसाब से बनता है, that is 6:40 p.m. Right? So sometimes these wordings are also confusing. You need to understand the logic behind it. Okay? So the event is occurring from 9:10 a.m. to 6:40 p.m. You need to find out the duration of this event. So moving on to next one. Passengers usually start to board the flight 1 hour before the scheduled take time, right? Takeoff time. So the gate will be closed 15 minutes before the takeoff time. So most of you who traveled, uh, they know this policy, that they before the 1 hour, usually the flights, the boarding starts, and then the outer gate is closed 15 minutes before the flight, right? So now the Jack's plane is scheduled to take off at 12:05 a.m. If he arrives at the gate at 11:45, can he board the flight?
Yes.
Yes, he can, because still there are 20 minutes. If he is arriving at 11:45, so there are still 20 minutes left in the flight. So definitely the gate will not be closed and he can board the flight. Okay? So इसमें कोई, I think so there's no need to draw a timeline, just it's a logical question you can answer. All right, next question is, the bus is scheduled to leave the terminal at 9:45 p.m. and travels for 5 hours and 45 minutes to another city. However, the bus left the time. ठीक है, सो बस ने क्या करना था, 9:45 से 9:45 पे डिपार्चर, बस का डिपार्चर था 9:45 p.m. और बस का डेस्टिनेशन पे कितने बजे बस ने पहुंचना था? बस ने 5 hours 45 minutes का डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल करना था, राइट? लेकिन बस 25 minutes लेट आई है. So like bus departed 25 minutes late. So those 25 minutes will also be added in this time because there was a delay. Okay? So the total duration is now not only the duration of the journey, but also the delay the bus did. Okay? The delay the bus had at the departure location. Okay? So now the duration is basically this 25 minutes will also be added. So bus instead of 9:45 p.m. bus the start like bus departed at 10 10 say 10 p. If we add 25 minutes and then so but bus departed at 10 p.m. So now if I add 5 hours in this, after 5 hours, what would be the time on the clock? What would be the time on the clock? 10 के बाद 5 hours अगर हम count करें.
Ma'am, 3:55.
3:10 a.m. Okay, it was PM earlier, so now it is 3:10 a.m. So now if I add these 45 minutes here, okay, so then it will be, the final time would be 3:55 a.m. Right? So this will be your answer. When the bus will arrive at the other city, so bus will arrive at, then you can just answer bus will arrive at 3:55 a.m. Right? So any question in this, because this is finished? Any question in this worksheet, anything you cannot understand? So we might take, we might do some 2 or 3 questions in the class related to time from your book, because book is having a bit tricky questions than this worksheet. Okay, so we will solve some questions in the class also, inshallah. So now we will start the second learning objective, because that requires a lot of practice and we still have 15 minutes. So we will solve the second question, which is very important learning objective, because that is the base to the next questions. Okay, convert between different units of speed. Achha, I will tell you a method to convert this, and you need to follow that method in all the questions from now on. ठीक है, इसी method को आपने follow करना है. So the question 1 is convert each of the following speeds into meter per second, right? So the speed is given in kilometer per hour and we need to convert it into meter per second. So before we start this, let me just help you recall the webs, the conversion webs. So conversion web हम speed का नहीं पढ़ेंगे, हम 2 चीजों का conversion web पढ़ेंगे, because speed is dependent on distance and time, right? So we will recall distance key, the possible units we are having are kilometer, the most common, meter, there can be centimeter or millimeter also, but speed में ये दोनों बहुत कम देखी जाती हैं. ठीक है, if an object is very slow, so then these units will be considered, but for the sake of conversion, फिर भी आ सकता है centimeter, millimeter. अच्छा, if you are going from kilometer to meter, what you need to do?
Multiply
Right,
with
class,
1000.
please unmute your mic. Tell me. You need kilometer to meter, so you need to
Multiply with 1000.
multiply with 1000. If you convert from meter to centimeter,
Multiply
then
by
you
100.
multiply by 100. If you go from centimeter to millimeter, then you do what?
by 10.
Multiplied with 10. Now the other way around. If you go from millimeter to centimeter, you will divide by 10. If you go from centimeter to meter, then you divide by
100.
100. If you go from meter to kilometer, then you divide by
1000.
1000, right? So I hope this is clear. Now let's talk about the units of time. So the units of time are hours, minutes, and seconds. Now, if you go from hour to minutes, so what to do?
Multiply by 60.
Multiplied with 60. If you go from minutes to seconds, then
Multiply by
also
60.
multiplied with 60. Okay? If you go from seconds to minutes, then definitely divide by 60. If you go from minutes to hours, then also divide by 60. So usually because we are having the direct conversion, so sometimes हम इनको इसकी direct conversion भी कर देते हैं. If you go from hours to seconds, so you will multiply by 3600. And if you go from seconds to hours, so then you divide by 3600. Okay? So you need to remember these conversions, and then this topic will not be difficult, because we will do the same. Because 72 kilometer per hour का मतलब है 72 kilometers 1 hour. Per hour का मतलब क्या होता है? In 1 hour. So whatever this object is, it is covering 72 kilometers in 1 hour. ठीक है, ये इसका मतलब है in short. Per hour का मतलब होता है 1 hour. अच्छा, now I will convert the units separately. ठीक है, I know that distance is, and this is what you need to do. Distance is 72 kilometers and time is 1 hour. ठीक है, इसी को हमने like separate कर दिया. So now the required unit is meter per second. So 72 kilometers are how many meters? kilometer to meter. So we need to multiply by
72,000.
1,000. So 72,000 meters, right? So simple distance हमने convert कर दिया from kilometer to meter. Meter is the required unit. ठीक है? Why I am doing this separately, like why I am converting the distance separately and the time separately, because आपके actually जो questions है ना वो ये इतने simple नहीं है. It's not like always कि आपने किलोमीटर पर आवर से मीटर पर सेकंड जाना है, ठीक है? दिस इज द मोस्ट सिंपलेस्ट कन्वर्जन. लेकिन आपके पास एक्चुअली बहुत सी डिफरेंट वेरिएशंस आ जाएंगी. मिनट्स पर आवर से, लेट्स से सेकंड्स मीटर सॉरी किलोमीटर पर मिनट से मीटर पर सेकंड, मीटर पर आवर से मीटर पर सेकंड. ठीक है, बहुत सी कन्वर्जन्स हैं, बहुत सी वैरायटी है which can be there because you can just look at this कि there are four units of distance and 3 units of time, so the variations is more. So आपने simple इसको separately convert करना है to avoid the mistake. ठीक है. Now the time, 1 hour should be converted into seconds. In 1 hour how many seconds? ये यहाँ से देख लें, hour to be converted into seconds, ये top वाला green arrow. So you need to multiply by 3600. So 3600 seconds. Okay. So now what will be this? Now the speed will be 72,000 divided by 3600. And now the unit is changed. It's not kilometer per hour anymore. It's meter per second. Okay. Now you can just simplify. The calculations are really easy. Cancel these two zeros. Okay. So it's 720 by 36. Now with which number I can divide? I can divide with 12. 12 3s are 36. And 12 6 are. Right? So I can still cancel 3, 20. So the answer is 20 meter per second. So if you say 72 kilometer per hour or 20 meter per second, they are both same units, right? Any question in this, anything you cannot understand. So when you are going into the smaller unit of speed, the calculation is comparatively easier, right? Because you need to cancel, you will still be having a whole number. But when you will go from smaller unit to bigger unit, so then your answer will be sometimes in decimals and they will be smaller. Okay? So you need to learn it. So moving on to the next one, I hope this is clear. We will follow the same method, same pattern in all of them. So the second question is 12.6 kilometer per hour. So we will use the same method. We will say distance is equal to 12.6 kilometers, right? And time is equal to per hour hai, so 1 hour, right? So if you convert 12.6 kilometer to meter convert karne ke liye you will multiply by 1000. So now you need to use this concept. 12.6 multiplied by 1000. Kya answer hoga? What would be the answer? 12.6 multiplied by 1000. What would be the answer?
12,600.
12,600. Okay. And this would be meters now. Why 12,600? There are 3 digits here, 3 zeros. There is 1 here. So basically, you need to move this decimal 3 digits forward. So ye 3 digits forward, so it's 12,600. Okay. So I'm removing this arrow. Right? So now the time is 1 hour. 1 hour, if we convert it into seconds, so it is 3,600 seconds, right? So now we need to write down speed. So speed is now in meter per second, it is 12,600 divided by 3,600. Okay, now the unit is changed, it is meter per second now. So you can cancel these two zeros, right? So now with which number I can divide? Is 126 coming on table of 12? Now it cannot. So what should I do? 6, right? Agar I divide by 6 karu, so it would be 21 divided by 6, right? If I'm dividing these both with 6, ye to cut kiya na? So it would be 21 divided by 6. So now it's a simple fraction. 21 divided by 6, you need to convert it. 21 को 6 से divide करें तो 6 3s are 18, 3 30, so 6 5s are 30. So the answer is 3.5 meter per second. Any confusion? Anaya, Aruj, Arshuman, Fatima, Hashim, Musa, Narmeen, Tathi. Anything you cannot understand. So the calculations require, some of the tips. Cancellation of zeros, moving of decimals. You can take the biggest divisor, right? So you need to reach till the answer by any means. So now the next question is distance is, last part is distance is 23.4 kilometer and the time is, okay, we will follow all these 3 steps, 1 hour. So 23.4 kilometers का क्या मतलब है? If you multiply it with 1000, what does that mean? How many meters? Not Hashim, somebody else. 23,400 meters, right? 1 hour is, if you multiply or convert it, so ये 3600 से multiply होगा 3600 seconds, right? So now we will say speed is equal to 23,400 divided by 3600. So yes, you can cancel these two zeros, and now 234 divided by 36. So use the knowledge of divisibility rules. 6 का divisibility rule क्या होता है? 2 और 3 से divide हो तो 6, 7, 8, 9. So ये 6 से divide हो जाएगा. Divide it by 6. So 6 3s are 18. 54. So 6 9s are 54. 39 by 6 आता है. It is still divisible by 3. So it will be 13 by 2. Right? Please see if there is any mistake or is it correct? Right? So what is half of 13?
6.5.
6.5 meter per second. Right? So this is the most simplest conversion, believe me. When the speed is given in kilometer per hour and you are just converting it into meter per second. The other way around is difficult, but the difficulty comes when there are multiple combination of units come. ठीक है? और speed के question में this is very common कि जब आपने speed compare करनी है, speed दो objects की speed को compare करना है, when you are calculating something, तो आपकी units जो हैं, आपका time is for example given in seconds, लेकिन आपकी speed is given in minutes. So you need to convert these, So, but always remember that going into the smaller unit, you must prefer that. Okay? If you have a choice, you can go in bigger unit or in a smaller unit. So always remember that going in a smaller unit will make your question easier. It will make your calculations easier.